Battles between marksmen are something that a lot of people enjoy to discuss, and a potential battle between the Punisher and John Wick is one very interesting case. They are both ruthless fighters with tragic backstories, and both of them use guns as their preferred weapons of choice. They are both very skilled at hand-to-hand combat and also have a ton of sheer cool factor. But who would win in a battle between the two of them? Punisher certainly has a lot more history since he started back in the mid-70s, but John Wick also has proven to be a very capable assassin. Let's find out who would come out on top if the two of them were to meet on the battlefield. Frank Castle, also known as the Punisher, was created by Jerry Conway and artist John Romita Sr. and Ross Andru. He first showed up in Marvel Comics in The Amazing Spider-Man number 124 in 1974 when he was hired to kill Spider-Man, although it was later revealed that he had been tricked into thinking the wall crawler was a bad person. While the character has gone through a lot of ups and downs in terms of writing and characterization, his origin still remains basically the same. He is a former Marine whose wife and kids were killed by the mob, and this prompts Frank to wage a one-man war on crime. He became one of the most prominent anti-heroes in fiction and one of the few popular Marvel characters who were willing to kill his enemies. John Wick is the main character of the movie franchise of the same name, which was created by Derek Kolstad, and the first movie came out back in 2014. Keanu Reeves has played Wick since the original film, and the franchise has had 4 movies and a spin-off series called The Continental, and it has become a worldwide success over the years. He was a former hitman and worldwide known assassin who decided to call it quits and live a peaceful life with his wife Helen. However, Helen eventually died due to a disease, and all John had left was her dog. The dog is eventually killed by a group of criminals, which sends John on a killing spree, kickstarting an all-out war in the underworld. Both Frank and John are regular human beings, so they don't have any special powers or abilities. They have supreme marksmanship, great hand-to-hand combat abilities, a long history fighting people, and they are both supremely skilled when it comes to assassination. Now, the setup for the fight is actually quite straightforward. While John Wick has been the audience's protagonist during the movies, he is also a guy who has done a lot of assassination jobs throughout the years. In that regard, the Punisher could have heard of him and decided to put him down for good. The big issue with this battle comes with the power scaling if we are being objective here. While John Wick has fought and killed some very strong fighters across the movies and is shown to be a very skilled assassin, the Punisher's range and abilities have been challenged a lot more often in the Marvel Universe. After all, Frank is fighting in a world where there are superpowered individuals, and this is a huge difference in Frank's favor because of the challenges he has to face. His fights with Daredevil are a very good example of this notion. He was fighting a guy whose senses are amplified by his blindness and has some of the best hand-to-hand combat abilities in the world. Enemies like Bullseye, whose entire skill set is based solely around being a supreme marksman, are also quite similar to John Wick's style. While it's hard to gauge, John might be a bit faster, but Frank is certainly physically stronger, which could play a role in their confrontation. And while the Punisher has been wrongly depicted as a brute in some comics or adaptations, his military background actually taught him a lot about strategy, and he has enough know-how to set up his opponents, which could also prove to be very beneficial for him in this battle. Now, this was a tough one, but we think the Punisher wins this because he has a lot more experience facing a wide variety of enemies, including those with superpowers. It's an element of power scaling and how one character is part of a significantly stronger universe as a whole. And if people ask, well, what if Frank kills John Wick's dog? I'd make this comeback. Well, what if John Wick killed Frank's family? Either way, this battle would be very interesting. Now, like I said, it was really tough to come up with a verdict for this bout, and in our poll, most of you also agreed, as the poll was split almost evenly down the middle for both characters. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Who do you think would win in a battle between John Wick and the Punisher? Let us know by leaving a comment below this video. Now, while you're down there, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this and participate in any of our versus polls coming up. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you in the next video.